Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webcast network of the Laws of Life. And today we have the Laws of Physical Evidence, hosted by Dr. David Lipman. How are you, Dr. David?
Good morning, Blanca. Nice to see you once again, and very happy to be here. And I really appreciate, as always, you putting this on for us, because I'm really gold here to get some really good content, information, and education to people out there listening, things that they probably aren't aware of, but they can really benefit from. So again, just thanks for letting us do this.
My true pleasure and honor, because I love how you're teaching us new laws every week so that we can stay healthy, and you're bringing your genius to help us all live better, healthier lives. And I see you have a special guest with you today.
Yes, I do. Today I have my colleague and friend, Oxanna, who owns a business right across the street from my office called Osteostrong. And in keeping with the theme of what we're talking about, remember 2 weeks ago we talked about the law of physical evidence, where there's really no such thing as maintenance when it comes to the body. You're either growing or you're degenerating. There's no third direction. And last week we had Heather from Live Lean RX on, and she showed us how we can, through the DEXA scan process, create baselines and seeing where our bodies are really at from a composition standpoint, metabolic rate. And this week I'm introducing Oxanna because her business, Osteostrong, provides a venue where you can actually measure and continue to show growth from week to week with the specialized machinery that she has. And so we're going to get her to give you some information about that. So right now I'd like to introduce her, Oxanna. Thanks so much for being here. And I just wanted to give you the opportunity to tell the audience, what is Osteostrong?
Sure, yes. So Osteostrong is a unique system that helps you improve your skeletal system, which is really important. After the age of 30, we start losing bone density, and there are just a few things that we can do to kind of slow that process down and also rebuild the bone. And with Osteostrong, we can help you improve the bone density, increase the bone density. Not only that, increase the strength along with balance, and just overall feeling stronger and better in your athletic performances and so forth. But the main thing is the skeletal strengthening. So that's kind of what we do.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So from like an osteoporosis standpoint, there's now a system that allows people to use this system to actually increase bone density. And that's obviously a big issue for many people. And so it's nice that we have right here in Boca Raton a center that provides that. So I know that because when there's cutting edge technology, for me personally, there's always something that draws me into it. So like why did you get involved with Osteostrong? Why did you open a center?
Yeah, so well, first of all, how I heard about it was through Tony Robbins' events, which he is a huge motivational speaker, through one of his seminars at UPW, and I started researching it because just from personal knowledge of how osteoporosis affects people, having elderly people struggle with the bone loss, etc., and basically 1 in 2 women will have a fracture after the age of 50 due to osteoporosis. Another scary number that I've read was 50% of people who break the hip will actually no longer live. Yeah. So really scary information out there, and just kind of wanted to help and fix it holistically. Of course, there are medications and things you can do, but so far, this is the osteogenic loading is the only thing you can do holistically, along with the nutrition and calcium and vitamin D, etc., that will help you rebuild the bone or slow down that process of losing the bone. So just kind of having passion for that and helping people guided me to this path.
Excellent. Yeah. So I've been involved with it since I think the very end of November was the first time I did a session. We actually have a video kind of taking you through my little work that we'll show, but in a minute. But in the meantime, the science behind it's very interesting, because as I'm going into each machine, it talks about what's called the multiples of body weight in terms of the force that you're exerting. So it's not a full range of motion. It's not a isometric contraction. There is some motion, But the idea about exerting that force, which goes through the skeletal system, is what's causing that stimulation for growth. So talk about the multiples of body weight and like what that really means and how that science works.
Sure, yeah. So it's actually quite simple. So we, in 1800s, Dr. Julius Wolff's law, who basically proved that bone will adapt if the force is put upon it. But he was able to kind of measure what that force has to be. In 2012, there was a study done in the UK that showed that for the lower body, so like your hip all the way down to the heels, you have to compress the bone with 4.2 times of your body weight, which is a tremendous amount of force to do. I mean, only if you're a power lifter or a gymnast, you can achieve that safely. And with our devices and our equipment, we're able to put you in that biomechanical position, and at the same time, get right away the feedback from that equipment that shows you multiples of your body weight, and if you are hitting that trigger, the osteogenesis, that minimum trigger point.
Right, that threshold where that's going to get to go. Yeah, so it's really interesting, and I've for the last few months been doing it. And what I love about it is having the numbers right there in front of you, what you did the week before, so you can see that you're going to surpass that in terms of multiples of body weight or even the amount of pounds that you'll be able to exert in each of these machines through the exercise. So I'd like to have you cue up the video and just do a quick walkthrough, and it'll show you just an idea of what a workout is typically. That's great. Thank you, Blanca. So what you saw there was how each start is a vibration platform where you loosen up, and there's some stretches that you do for a couple of minutes. And then you go into each one of those machines, and again, you have your display from what you did last time and shows you everything that your sort of goal is for this particular time. And once all that is done, and as you saw, there was sort of an upper body unit that would press the almost like a chest press and show how much you're able to exert, again, going through all your arms and your shoulders and your upper back. And then there was the leg press, so your whole lower body's engaged. The third one was a core one, so you're actually using your core strength to kind of pull your trunk towards your pelvis, so it really, really hits the abdominal muscles. And also that last one where you saw that you were going to be standing and kind of exerting that force, which is going through your entire body, like through your spine, because as you hold the handles and you push through the ground, all that force is generated throughout the body. So you're really stimulating that bone growth throughout on that last one. And what's nice about it is that each week, right after the workout, they email you a report of what you did that day and compare it to your very first value and then what your best was. So if you could just pull that graphic up, Blanca, I just want to show, and I'll have Oxanna explain what those numbers are.
Yeah, so here we see basically all the 4 devices, the upper growth trigger, lower growth trigger, core, and then the spinal, and all the progress that we see that Dr. Lipman achieves every time he comes in. The sessions are just once a week. It's 10 minutes. It's really quick. And it gives you those exact results, basically to where he hits his numbers every time it comes in. And you can see that his total improvement is 101%. His numbers are incredible anyways. Obviously, he's a strong person, but as you can see, you can track your progress every time you come in with each device.
Yeah, and again, that's nice for me because I'm always trying to surpass what I did last time. And again, going along with that physical evidence law of there is no maintenance, you're either growing or degenerating. And what's really great about this, because not only am I seeing the amount of pounds that I'm able to exert, multiples of body weight above and beyond the last one, what I see in my everyday life is that now a lot of my work, which is physical, has become easier. You know, when I have some big people to lift off my table, I'm doing it with a greater ease. So that strength is actually being applied to my everyday life. And in my workouts, I've seen some significant increases, the amount of weight I can lift, or even when I'm doing calisthenics, the ease of which I can lift my own body weight. So it's not just being stronger on the machines, it's actually taking that strength and making it functional for your everyday life. So that's what, to me, is really great about it. So anyway, I wanted to really bring Oxanna here because so many people can benefit, you know, from this kind of technology and these kinds of workouts from both a bone density, a balance, and a strength standpoint. And so anyway, I would like everybody, if you can, that's listening, if you can like our video and if you can share it, just to spread the word, because this is important stuff that a lot of people can benefit from. So I want to thank you for coming in today. And
thank you.
Thanks for opening up right across the street from me, because it's very convenient to go over and see it for my weekly workouts. So Blanca, thank you. And right back to you.
Thank you.
That was fantastic information. Who is the perfect person for Oxanna's program? Do they need to be a certain age? Do they need to have a certain ailment? Is this good for prevention? Who's the perfect client for you?
It's good for anybody. It's definitely people after the age of 40 can benefit the most. Or even after the age of 30, but strength gains and balance, I think everybody needs in their daily life. But majority of our members are postmenopausal women and women and men after the age of 40, basically.
Okay, that's good to know. And how often do we need to come into Osteostrong for optimal results?
So you only come in once a week. It's a quick session, in and out, just 10 minutes. It takes about 7 to 10 days for the bone to grow. So once you trigger that osteogenesis, which is bone growth, you actually don't need to do anything for those 7 to 10 days. Well, you don't have to come in again. So it's really nice and quick and convenient and effective.
And what's the best way to connect with you, Oxanna, to make this?
So our website is Osteostrong southfl.com. We're also in the Garden Shops Plaza in Central Boca Raton, and our phone number is 561-210-3210.
Say that one more time.
561-210-3210.
Amazing. So everybody, this sounds like an amazing program. How did you discover it, Dr. Lipman?
Well, it's funny because I had been getting emails probably about 6 months, possibly even as much as a year, about this from another location. I think it was in Manhattan, because I'm always looking for like new technologies to, again, tap into the body's own resources to make the body better. You know, there's a new phrase out there in the last couple of years, biohacking. And what it really means is that things that you can do to stimulate your body to do what the body does best over and above what it would typically do. So I am on certain lists, and I had gotten some information about Osteostrong. And in fact, I had been thinking about going up to Manhattan and checking it out. And lo and behold, Oxanna walked into my office about 6 or 8 months ago and told me that she was opening one of these places. So I got very excited. And with a little bit of slow during a pandemic, kind of slowed the progress. But now it's been open since the end of last year, and it's actually starting to build and grow. And I'm excited about it because I get to do it all the time. Because again, I'm always trying to do things that are stimulating my growth versus my degeneration.
Well, I love how you're utilizing this platform to invite compatible solutions. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
So what's your number one law of physical evidence today, Dr. David Lipman?
This is still working on when it comes to the body. There's no such thing as maintenance. You're either growing or you're degenerating. There's no third direction. And with technology like Osteostrong, it's giving you a method to ensure that that growth is continually being stimulated. And again, the best part of it is that I can feel that in my everyday life, whether I'm exercising or just how I'm able to move and handle the things I do physically daily with much more ease.
Well, this was a phenomenal episode. Thank you both for teaching us your laws of physical evidence today.
Thanks so much. We'll see you next week, Blanca.
Sounds good. Join us every Thursday at 11 o'clock for the Laws of Physical Evidence, hosted by Dr. David Lipman. Set your alarms and bring your questions next week. And let's keep this conversation fired up.